Okay guys, so I'm going to presume that most of you know that almost 2/3 of our population are deficient in vitamin D. And that is a big problem because vitamin D is actually a hormone and it is extremely important for your metabolism, your immune system, your energy levels, even your bone health. So there's some serious consequences to not having optimal vitamin D levels. Now, a very common question that we get is whether or not red light therapy can help you to make more vitamin D. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is showing you basically a way that you can use red light therapy in order to help you to make vitamin D. But I guarantee that if you don't watch this video to the end and you don't know the information in this video, then even if you have a red light therapy device, you will not be getting more vitamin D unless you use the things that I'm going to tell you about in this video. What's up guys, it's Nick Coetzee here and welcome to the Mitochondria YouTube channel. On this channel, you're going to find videos and content all around light, circadian rhythms, and how you can optimize these things in order to live your best life. If you want to make sure that you don't miss any of our future content, then make sure that you hit both the subscribe and the notification bell. That way you get notified as soon as we release a new video. Now today's topic is really important because most of us, we have 9-to-5 jobs and we spend a lot of our lives inside, so we don't get outside and get enough natural light exposure. And this basically, what will happen then is you don't get, your body isn't able to make enough vitamin D, which is, even though it's named a vitamin, it's actually misnamed. Vitamin D is a hormone. So there's some serious consequences to not having optimal levels of vitamin D. And if you can do some things in order to, bring your levels up, it can have some really great impact on your life, improving your mood, your energy levels, your immune system, your overall health can really benefit from increasing your vitamin D levels. Now, obviously the first choice is to get outside and to, get enough natural light exposure, but that isn't always an option for all of us. So what we're going to be discussing today is whether or not red light therapy is the solution in order to improve your vitamin D levels. And what I'm going to basically do is give you a very quick overview of how the human body makes vitamin D, and then we'll dive into, whether red light therapy can directly help you to make more of it, or if there's a way you can use a bit of a light hack in order to improve your vitamin D levels using red light therapy anyway. So first of all, I'm just going to show you the different wavelengths of light on the electromagnetic spectrum. So we're just looking at the visible spectrum here, and then on the right-hand side, we've got infrared, and then on the left, we've got ultraviolet. So when we talk about the type of light that you get from a red light therapy device, these will be in the red and then the early part of the infrared spectrum, which is known as near infrared. Now, in order for your body to make vitamin D, it needs to have a certain type of light hitting it on the skin, and then your body will basically convert cholesterol into vitamin D. The type of light that you need in order to make vitamin D is ultraviolet light. So all the way on the left-hand side, ultraviolet light is a much shorter wavelength of light, so it's very high energy, and it is the type of light that can cause you to get a burn or even to tan. But it is absolutely essential for human health because it is the type of light that we need in order to make this essential hormone. So immediately you can see the direct answer to whether or not red light therapy can increase your vitamin D levels. The answer is no, directly no. It's not the right frequency of light, but there is a very interesting mechanism of how it can help your vitamin D levels, and that's what we're going to jump into now. And what's really nice about this example is I can explain it using nature and what would basically have happened if we were living outside all the time, and how your body would use red and near infrared light in order to help you to make more vitamin D. So what I want to just show you is if you compare the type of light that you would get from the sun in the early hours of the day, so at sunrise versus noon, you will see that it's very shifted to the right-hand side, whereas you're going to get a lot more of the red and even beyond that infrared type of light, but you don't actually get much ultraviolet light during sunrise. It's only around noontime, when the sun is more directly above our heads, that you will start getting the shorter wavelengths of light, such as ultraviolet, which is necessary for your body to make vitamin D. Now, what would happen in nature is if you were getting outside in the morning and getting this high concentration of red and near infrared light, that basically prepares your skin and activates certain pigments in your skin known as melanin in order to absorb ultraviolet light better in the day. So the biggest problem why most of us will burn and actually can't get outside during midday in order to absorb some ultraviolet light is because we're not getting enough red and near infrared light in the early hours of the day. We tend to skip going out in the sunrise. We're getting ready for work and then we're going inside to an office. So we're not in the early, first 2-3 hours of the day, which is so crucial for your health. We're skipping that part. So many of us will burn when we go outside in the middle of the day in order to try and, boost our vitamin D levels because we've skipped that first step. Now, I'm a surfer, so I'm going to use this as an example where, when you go into really cold water, if you want to have a good surf and you want to stay out for like 2 hours, you need to have a wetsuit. Now, if you think of the wetsuit as basically red and near infrared light, that is your protection against, the cold or the ultraviolet light, the extreme conditions, which you do want to do. You do want to go for a surf, therefore you need to put on your wetsuit. You do want to optimize your vitamin D levels. You do want to, get outside and be able to not burn in the middle of the day. Therefore, you need to be exposing yourself to red and near infrared light, exactly as like what would have happened in nature. And again, coming back to the first thing I said, where number one choice is to get outside and get natural sunlight. But if you aren't someone who is able to spend 2-3 hours, outside in the morning because you have a job and you need to get ready, drop the kids off at school, whatever it is, that is where red light therapy comes in. So red light therapy is now your hack in order to make sure that you're getting enough red and near infrared light in order to activate the pigments in your skin so that when you do go outside, when you do try and boost your vitamin D levels, you're not going to burn. You can actually stay out for a longer period of time because your skin is now absorbing the light better and it's been prepared properly. So this is really cool. I want to just show you a picture. This is pulled from a scientific study where what they wanted to test was whether or not using red light therapy before an ultraviolet light exposure would help to prevent the skin from burning. And what you're seeing on your screen over there is actually, it's one person and it's their left leg and their right leg. And 15 minutes before applying ultraviolet light to both of their legs, they applied red light therapy just to the left leg. And as you can see, the right leg got quite burnt over there. That's that nice lobster color that you always see when someone's been outside in the sun too long. Whereas on the left-hand side, you can see there's drastically less sunburn. And that is that exact mechanism by which, the red and near infrared light is able to activate that melanin. So the skin is able to better absorb the ultraviolet light. And that is literally within 15 minutes. Now, something that's really important is, a lot of the times you'll see results like this in the studies, but what most people don't realize is a lot of the red light therapy devices on the market, these home devices that are being marketed out now, a lot of them are quite cheap and they don't have, the right specifications in order to be anything like the ones that they're using in the studies. So just to give you, some reports from our own customers, the other day on Instagram, I made a post about how I was able to tan better now that I've been using red light therapy. Normally, I would always burn when I went out in the sun during the middle of the day. And 2 people responded actually to that. One of them was, said she was in the Netherlands and she was saying, she was extremely pale, wasn't able to tan, she would burn whenever, again, she was trying to build up her vitamin D levels. And she even said people were commenting on how tan she was after using one of our MyLight devices. And when I shared that testimonial, also had another person, Pim over there, commented that he had the exact same experience. So guys, just to summarize, red light therapy and vitamin D, there isn't a direct mechanism by how red light therapy will increase your vitamin D levels. If you're just, standing in front of your red light therapy device in the mornings and then you're being inside all day, yes, you will still get the benefits of red light therapy. You're still going to have that mitochondrial stimulation. Your cells are still going to be able to produce more energy. But in terms of your vitamin D, you are going to need to get outside into natural sunlight in order to increase your vitamin D levels. The indirect method by which red light therapy can help you is if you are someone who burns, or even if you're someone who's not getting outside, in the first 2-3 hours of the morning, then red light therapy is able to help your skin to better prepare in order to absorb that light better in the day. Again, coming back to the wetsuit versus, surfing, if you were going to go into cold water, you're not going to last as long unless you have a wetsuit on. Same thing, if you want to go and boost your vitamin D levels outside, if you're not putting on your red and near infrared wetsuit, you're going to get burnt and you're not going to be able to optimize your vitamin D levels. If you guys have any questions from today's video or any future content that you would like to see, then please drop it in the comment section below. Other than that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you smash the thumbs up button. I keep dropping this at the end of the video and it's meant to be in the middle somewhere, but please hit that thumbs up button. I really do appreciate it. And other than that, guys, I hope that you have a fantastic day further and we will chat again soon. Cheers.